Hey guys, we're here with the final roster rundown for this preseason. It's TSM! TSM is the most prolific League of Legends team in North America, maybe even the whole world, and any roster change they make is heavily analyzed and critiqued by the community. Hopefully, since I worked for the team for about 2 years and I know Reginald, Parth, and Bjerg pretty well, I can bring you guys a more unique point of view on what you guys can expect from TSM this year. TSM had a disappointing performance at Worlds again. They haven't made it out of groups since 2014, while C9 and a lot of the European teams have consistently done better than them. Some changes were expected, maybe replacing Sven or Biofrost, but replacing Doublelift was a surprise to everyone, even Doublelift himself. They brought in Zven and Mithy from G2 and Mikeyoung from P1. Zven and Mithy have been one of the best Western duos of all time. Picking up Mithy also frees up Bjerg from shot calling responsibilities, something that TSM has struggled with again and again. Mikeyoung is really young and extremely hardworking, and 6 months ago, he basically didn't exist as a pro player, but with his phenomenal performance on P1 and earning Rookie of the Split, he found himself on TSM. He has all the right pieces to do well on TSM, but he really needs to make sure to not crumble under the pressure of the team and the community. I'm really excited and scared for this roster. First off, the expectation for this roster is gonna be off the charts. Most teams and owners would be more than happy with winning NA and making Worlds every year. For TSM, that's the minimal expectation. This roster has a lot of upsides if all the pieces click, and making it out of groups is something that's definitely possible. So let's look at the strengths of the super team. They have super duper strong laners. Hunter and Bjerg are some of the best laners in NA. They've been in top form for the last 2 years. And also the duo of Zven and Mithy should continue their success coming from Europe to NA. Being a good laner is such a huge advantage in playing the team game. Basically, having lane advantage is like having a side advantage in traditional sports. You're able to muscle down anyone that's smaller or weaker than you. Another huge advantage this team has is experienced shot caller in Mithy and players with some of the most decorated careers in Western League of Legends history. Shot calling has been one of TSM's biggest downfalls internationally, and having Mithy should alleviate a lot of that problems. And one other thing is, while Bjergsen's shot calling has brought TSM regional results, Bjergsen is someone that really likes to focus individually and grow individually and perform individually. It's not to say he's a selfish player, but he's a player where if he had that shot calling responsibility offloaded to someone else, he could shine even more so. So I'm going to be expecting a little bit more from Bjergsen this split. And last, and definitely not least, their biggest advantage is the history of success with the brand and with Reginald. Having experienced players, it's really important to know how to win and have the formula down. Once you win a few NA championships, you know what it takes to get there and you know how much work it takes, and you can really plan for the process and teach other people that haven't won before how to fit into that. As an org, they all know how to do well. As an owner, Andy knows how to win NA. And everyone except for Mikeyoung has won championships before, and I'm sure they could easily teach him. Song knows how to win, Andy knows how to win, Bjerg knows how to win, and Zven and Mithy knows how to win, Hunter knows how to win. This team is basically a team of winners. So I hyped up this roster a lot, but it doesn't come without weaknesses. And let's discuss a few of them. They have a rookie in Mikeyoung, and junglers on TSM. History has not been kind to them. Jungle is usually a heavily blamed role in general, and TSM junglers usually take brunt of the blame, and they're one of the most frequently replaced positions on TSM along with support. For jungle, they've replaced Odd1, Amazing, Centauran, Svenskeren, now Mikeyoung. For top, it's been Dyrus, Hunter. For mid, it's been Andy, Bjerg, and even for AD, it's just been Turtle, Double, and Zven. For support, it's been a little bit more turmoil, Xpecial, Glebe, Lust, Yellowstar, Biofrost, now Mithy. But jungle is really a role where you're going to take a lot of blame. Why wasn't the jungler here to help mid? Why wasn't the jungler here to help bot? And because Mikeyoung is really inexperienced and he's a rookie, it's going to be a lot of blame going his way, even when it's maybe not realistically his fault. So that's something that they're going to have to manage really well as a team, and overall, Mikeyoung has to really stand up to. Also, another thing they might struggle with is they have a lot of strong voices on the team. Bjergsen, Reginald, Mithy, Song. Strong voices, they give a team direction and they push the team forward. But when there's too many of them, it can divide a team and cause chaos. Good thing for TSM is Andy can always come in at any moment and unite the team under one voice, but it's pretty bad for the coaching staff and Andy wants to stay away from doing that. So we'll see how this split goes for them. And lastly, this team has unreal amount of pressure. This is probably the most heavily anticipated Western roster. They have god tier players gathered up with a god tier coach on a god tier organization. Both fans from Europe and NA will watch so closely. The world will watch closely. If this team does badly, the memes are going to be off the chart. International results have made TSM a team to watch very closely. It's a team that people love to see fail as much as they love to see do well. It's because all of those TSM fans that randomly chant TSM are just blatantly annoying about being a TSM fans, give the good TSM fans a bad name, and everyone just loves to hate on TSM and everyone hates to love TSM. It's a team that we talk about over and over again. It doesn't matter what reason, doesn't matter if they're out of groups, we just love to talk about TSM as a community. So who's their key player? It's definitely Mikeyoung. Mikeyoung is a very inexperienced player. He only has a split of competitive play under his belt, and he has so much hype behind him due to his performance on P1 and winning Rookie of the Split and also joining TSM. I personally never worked with Mikeyoung, but from what I hear from my assistant coach Tyler, who coached him on P1, Mike seems to be a very hardworking player and a great mind for the game and very open to learning. It's just this team's gonna have a lot of strong voices, and jungler is one role where you get stretched thin when there's people pulling you from top side, people pulling you from bot side, what the coach wants you to do. And what do you want to do? You have to piece yourself into the puzzle that is this TSM super team, TSM fan base. It's going to be really hard for him. I do think he can succeed, and I do think TSM has a strong formula and a strong system that he can piece into, but there is going to be growing patches and there is going to be tons of pressure, and he's really going to have to stand up to it. Anyways, for my final thoughts, TSM has a roster on paper which could be insane and one of the best teams that TSM has ever put together. But there are some things that they're going to have to figure out regarding the shot calling, regarding the coaching, regarding how everything fits together, and especially for Mike. There is going to be some growing pains at the start, and I do expect TL to be a little bit more stronger of the super teams coming out of the gate, but when it comes to playoff time, when it comes to championships, when it comes to finals, I do think TSM still has the best shot, and they are probably the team that's most likely to win it all in spring. So I hope you guys enjoyed the roster rundowns. I had tons of fun making them. Probably won't get to do content as this detailed and this edited during the regular season, but I am very much for putting out content for you guys. I love doing content. It's just coaching takes away so much of my time, and this is something that's secondary. For me, coaching Golden Guardians, that comes first, and I need to make sure we make playoffs and we kick butt, you know? So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And lastly, I'm not crazy. I'm just Loco. Peace, y'all. Hey guys, I see you guys are still watching the video. You guys should subscribe to me here. It'll let you know whenever I post a new video. Or you should watch this video. It's probably some previous video I've done. Go click it. Go click it. Click, 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 click.